The factors that have affected our business the most over the last 5 years include the adoption of new technologies and new techniques. Things like Enterprise 2.0 have had a huge impact on the way that people do business, on the way that employees expect to be able to do business. And again, for the next 5 years, I see that that trend will continue and employees will demand to have more. Things like collaboration will become even more important as companies grow. Interesting question about where innovation comes from and how you can nurture it and grow it and instill it in your DNA. I think it comes from the employees themselves within the company. If you provide your employees with the ability and the freedom to grow and to try new things and to innovate and also to make mistakes, they will be able to do that. But again, I think technology is a very important part of that. Providing people with the right types of tools to be able to innovate will help them and free them of those boundaries that they've had before and help them to drive that innovation going forward. Again, a very interesting question about how technology is influencing productivity. I think productivity in the truest sense of the word is changing. We're not constrained by the traditional constraints of working 9 to 5. People can be very productive working much shorter hours. And again, technology is enabling us to do that by allowing us to work more mobile, by allowing us to have access to data that we need that's in context in real time so that we can actually make decisions which will support our company going forward. In my opinion, the way that companies can improve their business intelligence in the future is by looking not necessarily at getting new data sources or trying to reinvent the wheel. I think that most companies should take an inward look at themselves. Most companies have huge amounts of data about their own organization. They just don't necessarily work with it in the right way. I think the tools to enable them to get more value out of that data and to get more context out of that data will be a huge driver in the future going forward for them. The importance of product quality and differentiating a company is growing all the time. Customers expect more. They want the product quality to be of a much higher standard. Customers aren't prepared to accept the mediocre anymore. So this means that you either need to have a niche product that customers want, or your product quality needs to be absolutely perfect. Do I think customers are demanding more input to get the product they want? Most definitely. Consumers are changing their behavior, and things like social media are allowing them to have more of an impact. Consumers are more aggressive as well nowadays in how they want products to be delivered and presented to them. It's not just a case of we want to have this, but it's also a case of we want to have this delivered to us in a specific way. My views on technology as being an enabler for business is that technology will eventually drive innovation. It's going to help people to become more involved, it's going to increase collaboration, it's going to increase transparency across processes. I think the impact of technology, we're just beginning to scrape the surface of what it can possibly help us do going forward. As a golden nugget for you, I'd like to point out something that I believe manufacturers and distributors should be looking to adopt going forward. I think that people that are not embracing the new technologies like social media and things like that are going to be left behind. I think any manufacturer that's not looking at modernizing their supply and distribution chains to take advantage of these new technologies by, for example, adopting things like interactive capabilities up and down the supply chain will eventually get left behind, because people just won't be willing to either work with them, and they'll need to have a really niche product to be able to set themselves apart.